Bonjour et bienvenue. This will serve as a presentation on the introduction to the Montreal Victoire. My name is Mario in Black, and today I hope to give you a basic understanding on the Montreal Victoire and their history. The Montreal Victoire play in Place Belle in Laval, Quebec. The team played most of their games in their first season at Verdun Auditorium in Montreal. They quickly outgrew the 4,000 seat capacity arena and made their way to the 10,000 seat capacity Place Belle in League's second season. Each year, Montreal plays a game in the Bell Center, where the NHL's Montreal Canadiens play. In the first season, Montreal set a women's hockey record that still stands as of this recording, when over 21,000 people attended their game against Toronto at the Bell Center. Montreal's general manager is Hockey Hall of Famer Danielle Sauvageau. Sauvageau was a coach for many years throughout the 90s and was an assistant coach on Canada's 1998 silver medal winning squad. In 2002, she was the head coach of the Canadian women's national team and led the country to their first gold medal in hockey at the Olympics of any kind in 50 years, when the men's team won in 1952 in Oslo. Sauvageau was the first woman to coach a team in the QMJHL Junior League. She also broke ground in television broadcasting and was a member of the 2010 Vancouver Olympic Bidding Committee. She has a list of accolades a mile long and was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2025 as a builder. The head coach of the Montreal Victoire is Corey Chevery. The Nova Scotia-born Chevery is a former player and a standout at St. Mary's University in Halifax. Chevery would go on to the CWHL and play several years with the Toronto Furies. When she retired from playing in 2016, she was the all-time Furies leader in points, games played, and power play goals. Chevery would transition into coaching, being an assistant on the Ryerson Rams. She also broke into the international coaching scene as an assistant for Canada's U18 team. She would eventually be an assistant coach on the Canadian women's national team, and she was on the staff for the 2022 Olympic gold medal team in Beijing. In 2023, Chevery was named the first ever head coach of Montreal. Montreal is captained by Marie-Philippe Poulin. She's a legend of the game in her own right, and her alternates are her wife, Laura Stacey, and defensive stalwart Aaron Ambrose. I'll speak more on them in the roster section. Montreal were swept in the first round in year one, when all three games went to overtime. In year two, Montreal yet again lost in the first round. They were the best team in the league, but this time the upstart Ottawa Chards got them, although Montreal did win a game in that series in a 4-overtime thriller. As with the prior presentations, I want to go through the rosters. For context on the highlighted notes here, U Sports is the Canadian equivalent of the NCAA. Laura Stacey is one of the most notable players on the ice. Number 7 for Montreal is what I like to call controlled chaos. She's a large winger who often seems to play like she's out of control, but that unpredictability in her game combined with her skill set makes her an extremely dangerous scorer. Stacey had a decorated college career at Dartmouth before going to the CWHL and winning Rookie of the Year in 2017 and then the Clarkson Cup the next season. Internationally, Stacey has represented Canada in 3 Olympics, winning gold in 2022. Stacey also has 7 World Championship medals to her name, 3 of those being gold. Abby Roque is also notable on the ice but stands out a bit differently than Laura Stacey, to put it a bit mildly. If there's ever a scuffle on the ice or some heated words being thrown back and forth, there's a good chance Roque is involved. She has been recognized by other players as the biggest trash talker in the league. Roque is an accomplished player as well, winning a national championship with the Wisconsin Badgers in 2019. Roque has an Olympic silver medal, representing the United States in Beijing in 2022. Roque also has a flair for stylish goals. In the second season in the league, while with the New York Sirens, Roque scored a goal called the Michigan. I'll link the goal below, but a Michigan consists of putting the puck flat on the blade of the stick while behind the net, lifting the stick with the puck on it, and putting it in the top corner above the goalie's shoulder. She backed that amazing goal up with a between-the-legs goal against her former team while with Montreal in year 3. I'm not sure where to start with Marie-Philippe Poulin. Is it her record-tying 5 Olympics with 3 gold medals? Is it the 13 World Championship medals? Is it being an MVP in club and international competitions on 6 separate occasions, including being the reigning PWHL MVP? Is it the influence he's had on the game and the significance of her success being a catalyst for the next generation of women's hockey players to take up the sport? Poulin's list of accomplishments is practically limitless and puts her in the spot where many consider her to be the greatest to ever play the sport. She's a phenom, and even as she's gotten older, she still plays like someone in their prime. As a player, she's the definition of an all-rounder. She's great at everything, and she never seems to show any deficiency in her game. Whether it's goal scoring, passing, reading plays, or defending, Poulin can always be expected to make the correct play. She's a marvel to watch, and my words will not do her game justice. I'm not sure how to follow up MPP, but I'll give a shout out to rookie from Vermont, Natalie Mlinkova. Heading into the Olympic break, Mlinkova was tied for 4th on the Montreal Victoire in points, only behind the 3 players I've already highlighted. She's one to look out for as she has less average ice time than her contemporaries as of this recording, but as she settles into the league, that ice time number will probably go up and it should prop up her scoring numbers as well. It's likely she will be a force to be reckoned with in the future. Moving on to the defenders. Katie Tabin was a first-time Olympian in 2026, and it was a culmination of several years of good work put in by the Winnipeg-born defender. Tabin is a shot-blocking machine, having the second most shot blocks only behind her teammate Erin Ambrose in the first year of the PWHL. Tabin was a standout at Quinnipiac and eventually moved to the PHF, where she had a big season in 2022 and 2023. When the PHF folded, she was drafted in the 5th round by Montreal to bolster their defense. Her defensive play has earned her a spot on the Canadian women's national team. Erin Ambrose is what I think of when I think of professional hockey player. She's a perfect encapsulation of someone who puts up big minutes and always gives an elite level effort. Ambrose's hard work has paid off immensely as she was nearly a point per game player at Clarkson. Defenders are not often expected to put up big point totals, so her being near a point per game is a huge accomplishment, even in college. She went on to the CWHL and won Defender of the Year, and she was the first Defender of the Year in the PWHL. She's had success in the international stage, winning Olympic gold in 2022 and 3 golds at the World Championships. She's talked about her battle of depression and anxiety, and a link to her article on it will be found below. Ambrose is a fantastic player, and you always know you're going to get a great game out of her whenever she laces up the skates. Nicole Gosling stood out at Clarkson with multiple all-first and second-team honors during her run there. She was the Defender of the Year in 2024 for her conference. That 2024 run helped earn her a spot in the Canadian women's national team for the World Championships the same year, and she ended that run with a gold medal. Gosling was drafted 4th overall in 2025 and looks to be a force in the back end in the PWHL for years to come. Of note, her cousin Julia plays for the Seattle Torrent. Finally, let's get to the goalies. Olympic gold, 3 World Championships, Canada's starting goalie, PWHL Goalie of the Year, the Patty Kazmaier Award. Anne-Renee Desbiens is one of the all-time great goalies in hockey history. Desbiens broke the shutout record at Wisconsin, holding the opposing team scoreless on 55 occasions. All 4 years he was between the pipes in college, Wisconsin reached the Frozen Four. Desbiens set records with an otherworldly .963 save percentage and a .71 goals against average with the Badgers. Desbiens didn't stop there. Since entering the PWHL, she's put up a .927 save percentage in her first 2 years, and she led the league in save percentage, winning Goalie of the Year in the league's second season. Next up, I'd like to talk about the history of the team. PWHL Montreal got off to a great start in the league. They finished second place in the league's first year, and as mentioned before, they had the game against Toronto at the Bell Center that broke the women's hockey attendance record. Everything came crashing to a halt, though, in the playoffs. The big matchup between Hilary Knight and Marie-Philippe Poulin ended with Knight coming out on top, as Boston won all 3 games in that first-round series. All games were decided in overtime. Erin Ambrose was the top pick in that year's draft. Poulin would lead the team in points and be a first-team All-Star and a finalist for the league's MVP. The Ambrose pick paid off immediately, with her winning Defender of the Year and joining Poulin on the first All-Star team. Corey Chevry also picked up a nomination for Coach of the Year. In year 2, the newly named Montreal Victoire were locked in. After the disappointment of the previous year's playoffs, Montreal would storm out and have the best record in the league. By virtue of having that best record, Montreal chose their first-round opponent in the playoffs. This time they chose the Ottawa Charge. Unfortunately for Montreal, they'd fall in the first round yet again, this time in 4 games. Every game was decided by a single goal, meaning that of Montreal's 7 playoff games so far over the first 2 seasons, every single game has been decided by a single goal. Game 2 was extremely notable as the longest game in the PWHL's short history. In the 4th overtime, Catherine Dubois scored to give the Victoire their first ever playoff win in front of their home fans. Heroic goaltending from Ottawa's Gwyneth Phillips would shut the door on Montreal's season, however. Kayla Barnes was the top pick for Montreal. Poulin would once again be the top scorer. She was the MVP, the 4 of the year, and she was on the first team All-Star. Anne-Renee Desbiens was the goalie of the year and joined Poulin on the first All-Star team. Jen Gardner, Anna Wilgren, and Kayla Barnes were on the All-Rookie team. Corey Chevry won Coach of the Year. Next up, I'd like to talk about some fan tradition and culture. One of the first viral moments in the PWHL came from a post of Laura Stacey celebrating a goal with her then fiancé and now wife, Marie-Philippe Poulin. The post commented on Stacey scoring a goal and celebrating it with her fiancé. A user named Marcus asked if there was a man behind the glass that was Stacey's fiancé. Another user retorted that the fiancé was number 29, Poulin, and very bluntly said, "She's gay, Marcus." The quote took on a life of its own and has turned into merchandise and become an internet meme. The couple even took pictures with "She's gay, Marcus" apparel as well. Montreal is known for their Olé chants. These typically happen when the team is about to win a game in the last few minutes, or the team has already won. This developed with the Montreal Canadiens of the NHL, but has carried over and become a Montreal tradition of sorts. The goal song for the Victoire is C'est la vie by Khalid. And I'm going to take an attempt at this victory song. I'm not very good at French, but I want to make an effort for this video. It is a mix of 2 songs by La Compagnie Creole, La Bal Masqué, and Ça fait rire les oiseaux. Hopefully I did a good job of that. That'll be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As a new YouTube person, I guess I'm supposed to say that you should like and subscribe. Please do so if you wish. I appreciate any feedback you may have in the comments section below. Next week I'll be doing the New York Sirens. And with that, all I have to say is au revoir et bonne journée.